This is Armageddon TV.
What's up? This is your main man, Mikey Jukes with Armageddon TV. I have just been having a time with this podcast. It started off sound issues. I was sitting up here using the microphone, but I forgot that the webcam has a microphone also. So the computer program was picking the webcam audio, so it had my audio sounding off. Then I come in the office, start filming. Then I got the overhead lights on in the office, so it's shining light down on me like the sun. And then I got this big light on the side of me, shining light to the side of my head, so my lighting was all crazy. And right now it's probably a little off too. I probably look maybe a shade lighter than normal, but it's just it's a learning process. It's a learning curve. I don't claim to have it all together right now. I'm a work in progress, just like everybody else. But I wanted to just get on here today and talk with you guys. I want to encourage people. I want to talk about things that I've experienced in my life and how those things have shaped me and how maybe that could help somebody else. I tell you, this journey, it started in 2002, really. Even before then, when I was a kid, like I talked about in a previous show, it really started when I was a kid. So, like I said in the previous show, my mother and her sisters and her niece, and there was somebody, I'm not sure if it was another person there or not. I believe it was, she said one of her friends was there, but they were playing with a Ouija board, and this Ouija board caused it to, like, a thunderstorm came upon the house and struck the house and knocked the power out. And so they all freaked out and stuff. And ever since that day, my mother started seeing stuff in the house. And when I say seeing stuff, she was seeing like shadows, and she said they looked like imps or something. They're moving really quickly and things like that. And she started just doing some real bizarre things. She started putting crosses all over the house and stuff like that, putting crosses on all the light sockets, the power sockets, and she had this Buddha statue. She took it and put it on the back porch, and one day it just cracked by itself. It just cracked in half. And so after that, my mom was like, she had it. And before I know it, we was at church getting baptized, and from that day forward, we were in church. But a lot of bad things were happening. The enemy was attacking our family at this time. Uh, like I say, one of the people who she was playing with the Ouija board with died, and somehow I'm not sure whether the magazines belong to this relative or not, but the magazines wound up in our house. I believe they belong to her, this relative, but it was some dirty magazines, and me and my brother started looking at them, and before you know it, we looking at dirty magazines, and then a dirty show called Casanova started coming on, the PBS channel, and we started looking at that, and so the devil was just like in the house and just wreaking havoc. And after that, things got better. My mother, she became a Christian. She changed her life. Before that happened, I think she used to smoke cigarettes and pop pills and stuff like that. She stopped all of that, just cold turkey. So I mean, there was a definite change. Us as kids, not so much. We joined the junior choir, and we went to church, but we didn't know what living right was. We were kids. We were still doing foolishness, getting in trouble. As time progressed, then came the girls and gang activity and stuff like that. 'Cause we were in the Chicago suburbs, so it was crazy. And I mean, the change for me, I gained faith. I learned how to pray to God, and I learned who Jesus was and understood. And I believe to some degree, I believed. Um, I never had this like thing where I didn't believe. It was just like I believed, just like I thought everybody else believed. Um, the concept of being a non-believer, it didn't really resonate with me. Not that I was so full of faith, but I don't know. I was a kid when I was introduced to God, so I believed it. I believed the story. Everybody else in the church believed it. I believed it. But I wasn't living right, and I didn't get it together until 2022. And that's a story to tell right there. In 2022, whew, I was doing TV production. I talked about this in a previous video too. I was doing TV production, and the TV show was in a little bit of trouble, went off the air, and we were throwing nightclub parties, trying to make money and stuff like that. So me and this other dude started throwing techno parties at this club that I wouldn't even go to if I wasn't saved. But when you're trying to throw parties at clubs, you just trying to find somebody who will let you use their facility to generate money and collect it at the door. So, we were throwing this party. It wasn't going well. One night we were going to the club and we were at the gas station and this homeless man walked up and he asked me for some money and I kind of shooed him away. We go to the club and that was the last night at the club. We wound up losing that job. The owner let us go. And so, things really started getting dark then. It started getting dark. And as I was trying to shop some kids to a record deal with Def Jam at that time. I didn't mention this, but I was also trying to shop a TV show to BET because we had did a hip hop TV show, had music videos on it from all of the major record labels, Def Jam, Interscope, Universal, all of them was on there. Yeah, BET, that's a story in itself, let me tell you. So I had a TV show called The Cypher Show. We used to play music videos. We had, like I said, we were working with the record labels. And I tried to use that name recognition to, hook up a relationship with BET so I could shop a TV show to them. Since I had so many TV hosts, I had like 5 TV hosts at that time. I came up with the idea of a TV show host competition. TV show host competition. And basically, they liked the idea and they stole it. And they called it BET New Faces Competition. That's true. That's true. So anybody could come at me about that. And I'm sure there's got to be a paper trail somewhere. The timing, the emails, hey, her name was Gail Northern at BET. I don't even think she worked there no more. And she was like the director of programming or something. So anyway, I don't care. But so that was what was going on, and that wasn't going well, as you can tell. It was going down the drain. I was also trying to, like I said, shop some kids to Def Jam. There were some rappers I was getting to run around there. So everything was just falling apart. You know what I'm saying? And then one night I was in the house and I heard a wind come into the house and it started lighting outside and then lightning struck this light pole, knocked the power out, and the car started doing donuts in the middle of the street right in front of my bedroom window where it was at. And that was just weird. I was hearing noises in the house and I talked about this all before. I had this picture of Jesus. It was like 3 parts to the picture. One, he was on the donkey. One, he was on the cross. And one, he was ascending into heaven. The one where he ascended into heaven fell off the wall. And I had put it in like a cabinet. And I kept hearing a noise in the house. And when I finally tracked the noise down, it was that photo inside of a cabinet in the kitchen right next to a Santa Claus, like a little stuffed Santa Claus about this tall. I took that Santa Claus and broke it in half. So I was like, whoa, something's going on here. And so I'm like, man, I need to get it together. So I had some holy oil in the house that my mother had gave me. I was using it for just cooking chicken and stuff like that. It was some olive oil. It's a shame. And I was like, oh, I have this. I didn't have a Bible or nothing. So I said, I need to go get I wanted to go get some holy water. And I wanted to get a Bible, but I went to a grocery store, which doesn't sell Bibles. So I got some purified water and a Bible tract. Even though I grew up in the church at this age that I was at then and the life I had been living, I was lost. I was lost and I was looking for God. I was like, hey, remember me, Steve, And and he did. Because guess what? When I got outside, I got in the car, I'm on the other side of town, way far away from where I was at before when I saw the homeless guy. This guy rolls up on a bike, right next to my window. It was the same homeless guy. And when I tell you this dude didn't look totally human, let me tell you, he had smooth, dark skin and a white beard. White as just snow, just a white beard. Clear eyes, no red or nothing in his eye, just great crystal white eyes. I knew he wasn't on drugs. I knew he wasn't drinking. So, he asked me, hey, brother, could you spare a couple of dollars? And I was like, I'm tight right now. Can I go to the store and break this 20 and I'll bring you back some money? And he said, 5 people told me that today and never came back. And he said 4 of them was preachers. And when he said that, I was like, whoa, my antennas popped up like, this dude is he talking that talk. Something's up here. So I gave him the whole 20, like, here you go, brother. And then he was like, he raised his hands up like, praise God. And then he was like, I want you to read a book. It's called The God Chasers by Tommy Tenney. I had never heard of this book or this name, Tommy Tenney. So I said, okay. And he left. And after I got a little bread, I went ahead and got that book and I read it. And the book was talking about basically dying to yourself, dying in the flesh, and just giving yourself to God totally and chasing Him. And by the end of the book, I said the Lord's Prayer and everything. By the end of the book, my heart was beating so fast, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. So I was like, "What is this? What's going on?" It was some faith going on right there. That's what was happening. Some faith was going on, and it said to get a box and put it under your bed that night. Put everything that's important, some important to you, like mementos in there, like Mary's alabaster box. So I put my son's picture in there and some other stuff. I think maybe it was something my mother gave me or something. And the next morning I woke up and I felt like fire was in my body, like my blood vessels was hot. I just felt this fire, this energy in me. And I just felt like I didn't want to listen to hip hop. I didn't want nothing to do with that hip hop scene no more. I was just like changed. Something that came over me. And I wound up going back to Illinois and doing a Christian radio show on WYBA. Back then it was WYBA, WYCA. Did a Christian radio show and everything. It was called the Cypher Show also, where I was showcasing Christian rappers. So I was talking to like a lot of Christian rappers out of Texas and California. I found out about Cross Movement on the East Coast. And Journey Big on the West Coast, Up Rock. Y'all might have heard of some of them labels. I was playing their music on the radio, just trying to do something for the kingdom. After a while, the worries of this life got on my back, and here I was back. At this point, I was in Hollywood trying to do another TV show. Oh man, life has just been crazy. But you know what though? Even when I was not living right during that period, because I was trying to get in the, I felt like this was all for a reason of some sort. I'm like, God couldn't have given me the idea to do a TV show to take it from me. But I didn't realize that, number one, I wasn't living right. Number two, that wasn't the will of God. You know what I'm saying? I think God gave me that desire, but I was using it for the wrong reasons. Like today I'm using it for the right reasons, for the kingdom of heaven. But back then, God didn't want me involved in hip hop. He didn't want me involved with the entertainment industry at all. And now in retrospect, because I didn't know about the Illuminati and all that stuff back then, I was ignorant to that. But now, well, actually in like 2009, God started putting me up on all that. And so now in retrospect, I'm like glad that it didn't happen. Praise God, because, who knows? I might have wound up like Kanye or something, you know what I'm saying? So, that wasn't for me. That wasn't for me. But it was just a spiritual experience though, the whole thing. Even when I went to Hollywood, even though I wasn't living right, because I was saved, but I wasn't living right. I was being disobedient. I felt the Spirit of God was always with me though. It wasn't that same thing where I felt the fire inside of me, but I always felt safe. I remember one night I was at this park called Leo Carrillo Park, I believe it was called, in Los Angeles, and it was at the top of the that Pacific Coast Highway or whatever. There's a park up there. And I remember I was sleeping in my truck at that time. Well, I was driving a car, sleeping in my car at that time, and I had the lights turned out. I was up there just chilling, doing my thing. I was about to, just drop off for the night, and the Lord said, "Turn your lights on." And I turned the lights on, and it was these three men with like these lumberjack shirts on, standing in front of my car, and I was like, "Whoa!" And I turned the car on and chirped out of there. But the thing was, though, the spirit was still protecting me, even though I was not living right at that time. I had kind of fell off. Um, so I mean, as far as the spiritual walk, there's not going to ever be a day where you're like, I got it together, I'm good. You're always going to have that battle, you know what I'm saying, day by day. And so I know what Jesus was talking about when he said you're going to have to, take up your cross and carry it daily. There's not no, until we die, we're going to have to be in this fight, this spiritual battle. So thank God that, just in retrospect, God was able to show me a lot and get me straightened out, get my head and my mind and my heart right. And now I could talk to people about it and understand, all of the troubles and trials and tribulations of the walk. But I also understand that there's a crown of glory awaiting us. So I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to encourage you. All right, well, that's all I got to say today. Just kind of was thinking about, spiritual experiences and wanting to share some stuff with you. And also was wanting to test out this lighting. It's really bright, but I'm going to rock with it for right now. And let me know if the picture is clear for you, okay? Once again, this is Michael. My name is Stephen Michael Jennings. Just so you know, Stephen Michael, Mikey Jukes, it's all the same dude, all right? Holla back. You have a great day.